Looking like it's going to be a very beautiful week, very volatile week as well, given that we have the interest rate decision on Wednesday. But we'll go over all that once we start. Screen shared. Let's go into here. Boom. Good evening, everyone. Drew here from Up Top. This is the weekly prep call for the week of March 20th to March 24th. Exciting week. We got a lot of catalysts. Today we got word on the Fed are going to be doing liquidity swaps. And so what liquidity swaps is basically, it's like quantitative easing in a sense, but for foreign countries, right? So this is usually done on a weekly basis, right? So the Fed came out today and said that now, starting tomorrow until the end of April, this is going to be a daily. They're going to be doing these swaps on a daily basis, right? So that's major. This is hundreds of $1 million getting put out there, and this is going to be on a daily basis. And this is, from my perspective, this is relatively bullish because, where the Fed is trying to make the global economy more stable by doing this, and I think there's like 5 countries that are involved. I know UK, the Eurozone, Japan, UK, Canada, Switzerland. So they all coordinated and are going to be doing this joint effort, which will bring less financial strain in the world and in the US. So major. They came out with that today, and they starting on tomorrow. So money should be flowing out in the market. Businesses or financial institutions tomorrow. All this bank stuff should seem to be simmering down more. So earnings for this week, we have Pinduoduo, PDD, big Chinese stock. That's tomorrow before open. Nothing else significant there on Monday. Tuesday before open, nothing significant there. Tuesday after close, we have Nike, GameStop. Those could be pretty significant. Nike, I wouldn't say GameStop. Wednesday before open, nothing significant here. Chewy on Wednesday after close. So we can watch tech for that. Thursday before open, we got General Mills. Nothing else is too significant there. Thursday, nothing significant there. Friday, nothing significant there. And I think this should be the last, if not, close to the last week of earnings for this earnings go around. So nothing too big to watch out for earnings this week. I wouldn't worry about any of these names here really, except for Nike and PDD tomorrow open, but that's before open, so the effect should take place already. Now, as far as the economic calendar this week, Wednesday we got the Fed rate decision. That is noon my time, which is 11 Pacific and 2 p.m. Eastern. And right after the decision, the Fed is going to be doing their press conference. So expect a lot of volatility that day, whether they raise the rates, which we should go bearish if they raise rates, and if they lower rates or possibly pause rates, that'll be extremely bullish. That'll be the best case scenario. So definitely eye that close. And that's midday Wednesday. So we can probably see some chop towards the end of Tuesday, towards close, and then Wednesday at open. But tomorrow I expect a pretty significant, a pretty decent open, especially the catalyst that we got. Thursday we got jobless claims, and there's nothing on Friday. Friday we got the core durable good orders. That is pretty significant as well, and that comes out an hour before open. So definitely look out for that on Friday. The Fear and Greed Index, we are at 25. We are in the extreme fear zone. I believe last week we were at 24. Yes, we was at 24 last week. We creeped up. I think we crept up to like 26 or 28 in the middle of the week, and then we ended up coming back down into the extreme fear. Um, Being that we are in extreme fear, we can see a crazy relief bounce any day now, and I feel we have the perfect catalyst for that to happen, especially with the rate decision. Like I said earlier, if they were to pause, rate raises, that'll be very very bullish, and the market can probably go crazy. And this is the perfect area to do it, as we are in extreme fear and we are on a nice level in the S&P 500. Yeah, so that's all the economical events and earnings we have this week. And let's go into the liquidity swap that they issued, that they came out with today, right? So basically what that is a currency swap from the Fed to other foreign central banks for the equal value, right? So we're swapping our money for their money. It's equal value. But the thing is with this is that the Fed charges a fee for these economies to do that. And then at the end of the term, when this agreement comes to maturity, the Fed actually gets the money they lent out back. So the Fed has no risk on this money, whereas the foreign central bank has risk, right? So, and what this does is it just provides certainty and stable pricing to the financial institutions during times of market financial stress, which is exactly what's going on now. Like I said earlier, these liquidity swaps are usually on a weekly basis, and what they're doing now is it's going to be happening on a daily basis, starting tomorrow to the end of April. Right. So for next month, instead of this happening, instead of these hundreds of $millions of happening, swapping every week, it's going to be done for the next at least 30 days. So instead of 4 times, it's going to be over 30 times. And this is hundreds of millions of dollars. So this is very big. A lot of money getting put out there. So very, very optimistic from my perspective, the market. So let's go into the charts this week. First, looking at ES here. This is the S&P E-mini futures, right? So this mirrors SPY, or SPY mirrors this. Now we can see here we are still holding this long-term downtrend trend line here. We are holding it very well here. And we all know that the 4,000 psychological level is a major level for ES and SPY, or the S&P 500. So my theory is I believe if we can reclaim this 4,000 this week and hold, that we are going to be pretty bullish. You can see here these red dotted lines are the targets that I have. As far as support and resistance, right? So a hold above 4,000, I can see us coming up to 40.35, then 40.60, then 40.90, and then 4100 or so. 1,000 or a 100-point move. And I think this is the week we'll definitely see it. We can see here on the daily, we are making higher lows here. Bulls have been stepping in. If we go to the weekly, boom, let that load up. We go to the weekly, we can see that we are getting a rise in bullish volume, right? And this is on the weekly chart, which is a more significant chart. You can see the last time that we had this amount of bull volume was in January 18th, when we had this dip and aggressive buy up here. And we haven't had this amount of significant volume before January. It wasn't until March of 2020, which is when we all know the pandemic hit, and that's when the Fed started to pump the markets, pump the economy. And this, you see what happened once the Fed did that. We had the pandemic dip, the Fed did the quantitative easing, and then we rallied. Now we had this breakout and then this short dip after all this bank stuff going on in the last couple of weeks. Now we got a burst of bullish volume right off of this support retest of last year's downtrend. So I'm very optimistic in the market right now. I think that we can get very, very bullish from here on out, given the rise in the bullish volume, right? So going now to SPY, it looks identical. But the real focus this week, I think, is tech. We've seen that tech really showed what it wants to do last week. Let's pull up QQQ. QQQ was very bullish. You can see the rise in volume here. It's actually broke out of a bull flag on the daily, and this also has this major downtrend from last year, like SPY. But we already broke out of that. It held it, and then we broke out of this mini or smaller bull flag here. So I think that we can get very, very bullish. I think it's going to be a tech-led rally, as we've seen last week. So, being said that, I am watching just the main techs this week. So I'm watching the Meta, Tesla, AMD, and Netflix. And let's start with Netflix. So Netflix, right? We've been on the downtrend for some time. We came down, broke below that 300 psychological level, that 300 support level, right? But we did reclaim it. We did reclaim it last week, and we reclaimed it very strongly. We can see here. So this white dotted line here is this 300 level I have for Netflix. So we can see going back into last year, every time we came around this 300 level, we had significant moves. You can see here we got a nasty reject where we rejected 300, fell all the way down to 252. Here we got a breakout. We ran all the way up to the 312, 313 area. We broke out again here, break out of 300. Very next day, we shot up to 319. So $19 move in one day. Then we broke below here, breaking 300 and falling to a low of 273. Reclaimed it here again and went on a nasty bull run from 300 all the way to a high of 379. And this is just in 3 or 4 weeks. And then we just recently broke below, but reclaimed it swiftly. And we actually Friday we actually bounced exactly off of 300. You can see we wicked off of that 300 level Friday to the T. So this is 300.00. So for this week, I'll be watching. Let's go down to the hourly. I'll be watching Netflix. I would ideally like to see Netflix come down and hold this 302 support or 300, and I would love to take bounces up there off of these levels. And I have no resistance for Netflix until the 313, 314 area. So this could very well be something that we hold. Again, I would like to see it come down. I don't want to take it at highs in the middle of this channel. I would like to see it come down on a dip and definitely take it off of 302. Now, last week, we took Netflix off of 302 as well. We took it off of 302 here. And I know Webb caught this whole move to the 314 area. You can see this 302 level is very good support as well here. See, reject, hold, broke below here, but it held 300. This was Friday, and then now we are above at 303.7. So I would like to see a bit of a dip in the morning, and I would love to take calls off of this 302 or 300 level for Netflix. And then we can probably take calls a bit more out the money, maybe the 305, 307 calls, as they would be cheaper. And I definitely think Netflix is going to have the momentum it needs to make this push up to the 314 area. So Netflix is my top watch going into this week. Next we have Meta. So now looking at Meta on the daily, you can see Meta has been very, very strong since November. Very, very strong. It's been consolidating. Did a bull flag here, broke out, nice value. So Meta as well, same idea as Netflix. I would like to see it on a pullback. Hopefully we get one. If not, it is what it is. I'm not going to chase the stock that's already going. I only want to take it off of a nice key level. But for Meta, I'm watching this 190 area. If we can come down to 190, 194. 190 because 190 is a good site level for this level. You can see we got nice rejections here, a nice bounce, nice strong bounce here. It's actually look like it might be a demand level. And same here, nice consolidation around this 190, then a strong move. So buyers and sellers are definitely here. I think if we come down to 190, we would definitely, the buyers will overweight the sellers here. If we don't come down to 190, I will be watching this 194 level here. This is a very nice level here as well. You see, we couldn't break this level. Strong moves off of this level. Reject, 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 reject. Reject here. Break and hold at this level. So it looks like we might just be pulling back a bit, just to bounce off of this level or the 190 level for bullish. Now, if we break below that, then I'll have to flip to bearish, and then we can play the push down into these areas, which I don't think will happen, but anything can happen with the market, so we gotta be prepared for both sides. And I actually threw on the fib too. And I think I did have some fluids. Yup. So at this 190, 191 level, I have the 0.382 fib level, which is a nice bounce zone right here. So if we definitely come down around 190, 191, I'll be very comfortable taking calls here. And a very low risk to reward as well. You see, we can put up our long position. Say we take the 190, 191 bounce. Our stop would just be, let's say 180, 180, 189. And then, we have an upside potential of just 205, which gives us a 7.64 risk to reward ratio with a tight stop. So very, very good risk to reward here on these metas. And on Netflix as well, being that Netflix has strong support at that 300. So Netflix, Meta, or like Meta up to the 205 areas to see if we can break highs. If we look at the daily, you can see this is where we recently caught resistance at. So being that we are in a strong uptrend on Meta, you can see we've been making higher highs and higher lows since November. So I definitely think we're pulling back, and then we may go and test and try and make another high if we crack that 205 level. So yeah, Netflix, Meta, Tesla is another one I'm watching. Tesla has not gotten no steam yet. You can see Tesla is in nice consolidation here on the daily. And I do have a resistance level around the 185. If I go down to the hourly, you can see here as well, Tesla is making higher lows here, higher lows. But it has the same consistent high around that 185 level, right? So for Tesla, I want to see Tesla break 185 and hold this resistance. I want to see the resistance turn into support. Then I'll be very comfortable taking Tesla calls. And I see Tesla well into the 190s and potentially the 200s if we can get really bullish. But these two rectangles here are my first price targets for Tesla. It's the 194, 195 area, and then the 188 area. So definitely watching Tesla. I have my alert set for this trend line break. So we will be on. If it doesn't gap up or anything, we'll be able to catch Tesla. Also with Tesla too, Elon, 2 weeks ago, Elon did exercise some call options. So he's bought millions of shares again, and the chart hasn't reflected that yet. So behind, all the catalysts we already have, we also have, millions of shares being bought flowing into Tesla. So I think we will get nice momentum with Tesla to the upside. But I definitely want to see us break this resistance right here. And hold this level for upside. AMD. We've been watching AMD last week. AMD is very, very strong. It's one of the tickers that was leading the tech rally last week. It was AMD and NVIDIA. And levels we have for AMD. is we want to see a pullback as well because we are at highs and we don't want to take calls at highs, right? We want to take calls on pullbacks, then we can catch a majority or some of the move on the way back up, right? So you can see AMD has a good demand area around here, 194, where this was resistance. Then we got the breakout, then the retest here. I don't know what happened here post market on Friday, but we got a nice little wick, but waking up off of that level again. So I would love to see AMD bounce off of this 94 level or hold this 96.4 area, which was Thursday's high of day, and then it was Friday's low of day. So I'm going to go ahead and actually extend this out, as if we are real bullish, we may not pull back all the way to 94. We may just pull back around this 96 area and bounce from here. And just like everything else, I see this coming up and testing these highs here. And if this uptrend holds, then definitely breaking these highs and testing this 100 level. If I go to the daily, we can see that this 100 level is a very key level as well for AMD, and a psychological level. You can see is the consolidation around this 100 level and then a nasty move down. We came from 100 all the way down to lows of 55 last year. So we should, if we can get above 100, we should see even crazier run up to the upside potentially. And AMD does have this on-field gap way back here from 116 to 118. So $2 gap up there. Actually go ahead and draw that out. On my chart here is I do have a lot of old zones and lines, but let me go ahead and take these off. My apologies for the messy chart. Yeah. So again, AMD levels I'm watching are 94 area and the 96 area for a bounce for calls. Now, again, if we go below those levels, then I will flip, play puts, where the market shows us fit. So again, that's all my watches. Just keeping it short, watching tech this week, and the SPY, of course. So Tesla, Meta, AMD, and Netflix are my main watches. And I will be posting up my charts and the levels tonight in the Watch This Pro channel. So everyone can see the visuals and see how I see it, see the targets, and then the areas where I expect bounces or breakouts or breakdowns. And so that is all I have. One of the charts, one of our economical data, the catalyst that came out today, earnings, Fear and Greed Index, and that is all. So I'm gonna go ahead and.
What's up, everybody? Webb here. Drew pretty much said it all for the most part. Going to be watching tech this week. Main focus is going to be QQQ, holding this. I'll call it 305 level. We'll call it there. Pretty much want to see a long over 310. I won't be playing contracts in QQ. I'm just going to be watching it. Do want to see it up to into the 320s area, hopefully by the end of the week if we're really bullish. And just as Drew said with AMD, I'll have better levels pre-market, but yeah, I'm pretty much looking for a pullback into that strong demand area right around 94.5. You can call it 94 to 95. If we do break below 93, I'm not interested in taking puts, because we're just coming from a real long haul there. Yes, I'm not interested in taking puts in AMD unless we're really, really bearish. Then okay, all right, but yeah, that's about it. Just watching AMD. So looking for a pullback into the 94, 95 area. Wanting to take calls probably around 98. Let's see if we can get that 100 break this week, depending on how strong tech is going to be. So those are going to be my two main watches. I don't plan on watching anything else.
Definitely short and sweet. I think that's the best way to keep it this week. Um, just focus on the things that we've been focused on the movers of the market. Um, Less is more, so yeah. If Rolo ain't got none, we'll stick around. I'll stick around at least for some chart requests or if y'all want to discuss anything further. But that is it for the weekly prep for this week.
Well,